What's going on, old school scares, and welcome back to our 31 Days of Halloween, and we're in day 4 of our monster series, and today we're talking about the original King Kong from 1933. It was interesting. I was doing my research for this, and there's different times, so there's definitely different run times for this movie, but the Anywhere seems to run between an hour and 40 minutes and 2 hours and 5 minutes, so there's some different pieces that were cut. I know there's some footage that was cut over the years that's been restored to certain cuts. So let's just call it somewhere an hour 45 to 2 hour movie. Came out in 1933, and this was a technical achievement. This wowed audiences. It was incredibly popular. It was just an amazing movie for the time, and the special effects still, look great. The Willis O'Brien stop motion is just absolutely incredible. It looks great. Kong looks incredible. The biplanes, the Empire State Building, the jungle. It's just a great movie. I mean, this is one of those movies you want to go back and watch and, try to take your adult eyes off of it, or, try to watch it through a kid's eyes again and just be mystified by how cool it was, how fun it was. It's not a sophisticated story. Movie producer, down on his luck, hires a beautiful actress to go on a boat with him. They're going to shoot at this location. They find the giant ape, and he realizes that, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to bring him back to New York and become incredibly rich. But obviously, Kong escapes and just wreaks havoc on the city, trying to find the love that he has for the female character, right, played by Fay Wray in this movie. And it's just so well done. I mean, every part of it, especially for a movie from the 30s, you just can't, you're watching the movie, and again, you're sitting back and you're transfixed into this great movie. And when I sit back in this movie, and again, I hope you've seen it before. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you, just go watch it. Like I have on a few of these movies, but this is one of those seminal movies. If you're a horror movie fan, or you aspire to be a horror movie fan, you have to see the original King Kong. You have to see the original Godzilla, just like you do the slashers, like Freddy, Jason, and Michael. You have to see those movies, and the classic monster movies. This is just such a cool movie, and it's very different, right, from what Universal was doing. Universal had their classic monster movies. We had a giant monster movie in the 30s that was so influential. And Kong is just as influential as, the Frankenstein monster, the Mummy, the Wolfman, Dracula. It's just such a great movie that it's a technical achievement. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. Again, from a horror standpoint, it's up there with Jaws and Jurassic Park for me, with movies that just transcend the genre and just, you watch them and you're blown away. Again, as a little kid, the first time I saw King Kong, I couldn't believe this giant monster. And I really think back, and probably 15 years later when I saw Jurassic Park for the first time in 1993, and I saw those dinosaurs on the screen. And we'll talk about Jurassic Park in a couple of movies, but it was the same exact feeling I had, as a teenager. I had as a little kid watching King Kong, and I was just blown away. So I hope you enjoyed the movie. When we talk about scary scenes, there's not a ton of scary scenes. I would probably tell you the scene I loved the most as a kid, because I love dinosaurs, was the scene with Kong fighting the dinosaurs. I think that's probably the coolest scene in the movie. So I'll go with that's the coolest, not necessarily the scariest scene in the movie, but I really like it a lot. And tomorrow we're actually going to talk about the Steve McQueen version of The Blob from the 1950s. And at some point in time on the channel, we'll do a comparison between the 50s version and the 80s version, because they're two great monster movies. But we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So tomorrow comes The Blob. Enjoy King Kong. As always, thank you for checking out the channel. Please hit like and subscribe, and stay scary.